If you work in corporate America, the probability that your company offers a deferred compensation plan is high. The term may be unfamiliar, but the concept probably isn't. Deferred compensation is an arrangement that allows you to delay payment of a portion of your income until a later date when your taxable income and related tax bracket is likely lower. If that sounds like a 401k plan, you're not wrong. A 401k falls under the category of a qualified deferred compensation plan, which are protected by the Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974, otherwise known as ERISA. Qualified deferred compensation plans come with strict fiduciary standards, such as restrictions on contribution amounts. These strict rules also limit the advantages for high earners. But a lesser known and far more flexible tool is the non-qualified deferred compensation plan, also known as elected deferral or supplemental executive retirement plans. These deferred comp plans also allow you to pick investments and can even qualify for a company match. Consider this a raise. But unlike a 401k plan, a non-qualified deferred compensation plan places no limits on your contributions, no age restrictions on withdrawals, and no required minimum distributions. You can put away and invest an uncapped amount each year, reducing your taxable income by the amount you defer. You can enjoy tax-deferred investment growth until distribution, with flexibility on when you start receiving distributions. They can occur at retirement or sooner if you want to align payouts with earlier financial goals. Distributions are taxed at ordinary income tax rates, so imagine how you can use this strategically alongside your tax planning. Deferred comp plans have been dubbed golden handcuffs for a reason. As a highly compensated employee, your work is a valuable asset to your employer, so the benefit is designed to incentivize retention. The more you make, the more you pay in taxes, the more appealing the tax shelter is. If you intend to stay at the company, the financial advantages of using the plan strategically can be substantial and potentially well worth the carefully measured risk. You have some critical decisions when you elect to participate in a deferred comp plan. Participation typically involves adhering to a designated enrollment period and establishing a written agreement with your employer. This agreement outlines crucial details such as the amount of income to be deferred, the deferral period or schedule of distributions, and your investment choices. With so many possibilities and so much at stake, deferred comp plans can feel overly complex and even intimidating. The best way to start thinking about your strategic approach is to break it down to the three main components. 1. What do you want to use the deferred compensation for? 2. How much of your salary or bonus will you defer each year? 3. When do distributions from the plan start, and how long do they last? Once elections are made, they can be difficult or impossible to change, so you don't want to go into this lightly. Before moving forward, it's vital that you understand your options and look at the big picture. We will explore 4 situations in which you can confidently and strategically leverage your non-qualified deferred compensation plan. Deferrals into a deferred comp plan lower your taxable income in the year you defer income. So, if your total compensation was $300,000 and you decide to defer $25,000, your annual income would be $275,000. A common strategy we use is offsetting other income, such as stock compensation or inherited IRA withdrawals, with their deferred compensation. Let's look at an example. Gianna's salary and bonus are $550,000 per year. She also receives stock compensation in the form of restricted stock units, also known as RSUs, which on average is about another $50,000 per year. RSUs are taxed as ordinary income when they vest, regardless of whether you sell the stock. She inherited an IRA from her father and is currently withdrawing $25,000 per year, which will continue for the next several years. This puts her total income at $625,000, placing her in the highest federal tax bracket. Keeping tax calculations simple for this example, Gianna would have to pay just over $187,000 in federal taxes, making her effective tax rate 30.7%. Gianna does not need the additional $75,000 in income from the RSUs and IRA distribution, so she is losing a ton of money to taxes on income she will not be using right now. What can she do? Gianna's company offers her a deferred compensation plan. She decides to defer $75,000 of her bonus each year. This will offset the amount she receives from the stock comp and inherited IRA contributions. Let's take a look at the chart. As you can see, Gianna's current plan puts her just over the threshold for the highest tax bracket. Deferring $75,000 of her compensation allows Gianna to reduce her taxable income to $550,000, keeping her just beneath the highest tax bracket. And her federal tax bill will be reduced to $160,000, saving her about $27,000 in federal taxes. This strategy allows her to maintain the same lifestyle spending while the $75,000 she defers can be invested for retirement inside of her deferred comp plan. If she continues this over the next 10 years, that is an additional $750,000 in retirement savings, not including any investment growth. She can do this without spending any less or adjusting her lifestyle now. She'll also realize the potential advantage of paying less in taxes because when she takes distributions, she will be retired and hopefully in a lower tax bracket. This strategy is simple and effective. All it takes is aligning your deferred compensation distributions with a specific goal in mind. This goal can be anything from your children's education expenses to a down payment on a vacation home. Let's show you how this concept works. Bill and Laura have ambitious plans for their future. They want to make sure college expenses are covered for both their children, and they want to purchase their dream vacation home. Their son will start college in 8 years and their daughter in 10 years. And they'd like to purchase their vacation home before the kids start college. Cash flow is great for Bill and Laura right now. Bill has a deferred compensation plan through his job, and he developed a strategy to defer salary over the next 6 years to fund the couple's bill. A common component of deferred comp plans is the ability to have multiple accounts within each plan. Each account can have its own investment strategy and distribution schedule. When you make your elections, you will decide which account you will be saving into. Bill's plan allows him to save to 3 different accounts inside his deferred comp plan. As you can see from the chart, Bill created 3 accounts, each with a specific goal in mind. Account number 1 will begin paying out in year 8 over 4 years to pay for his son's college. Account number 2 will begin paying out in year 10 over 4 years to pay for his daughter's college. Account number 3 will be paid out in a lump sum in year 7 to cover the down payment on the vacation home. Bill decides that deferring $50,000 per year into the accounts over the next 6 years will allow him to achieve his financial goals. Looking at the yellow boxes on the schedule, you can see that when distributions are made from the plan, they are each aligned with specific goals. It's important to note that we did not account for any investment and growth in this example. This is something you should consider when determining if this strategy is right for you. Also, deferred compensation distributions are taxed as ordinary income, so being aware of what your total taxable income is likely to be at the time of distribution is also crucial. If you decide that you want to retire early or before age 65, the question most people ask is, where will my income come from? Most people rely on Social Security to supplement their income in retirement. But how does that work if you retire earlier than you would like to begin drawing on Social Security income or before you become eligible? John and Sarah are a married couple who are both 60 years old. They plan to retire when they are 62 and would like to wait until 67 to take Social Security. John has a pension that will start when he retires at age 62. You can see that John and Sarah will have an income gap of $60,000 for the 5 years before Social Security kicks in. They will have to pull this from retirement accounts or other investments, which can lead to depleting assets sooner than anticipated. Let's examine an alternate scenario in which Sarah utilizes the deferred compensation plan through her employer. In this example, Sarah defers 50% of her yearly bonus until retirement. The deferred compensation plan is to be distributed over 5 years starting when Sarah reaches age 62. This is what their projected income looks like using Sarah's deferred comp plan. The gap they previously had to make up is now filled by Sarah's distributions from her deferred comp plan. This has a significantly positive impact on their future because now the couple can let the retirement and investment assets continue to grow over the 5-year period and use those gains later to supplement their income. It's important to remember that a deferred compensation strategy like this needs to be reevaluated each year. There are a lot of moving parts to your plan. To stay on track, you need to adjust as needed constantly. For example, you may have some unexpected expenditures that affect your cash flow and may need more money in your paycheck instead of deferring that compensation for later. Let's face it, companies go through layoffs and restructuring all the time. Unfortunately, the employees usually feel the most impact, especially the more highly compensated ones. Having a plan in place in the event you were to get laid off is essential to your financial well-being. The good news is that if you have access to a deferred comp plan, it can be a great tool to hedge against uncertainty. Let's look at this in action. Mike has been a vice president at his company for the last 10 years and is currently 55 years old. One of his major concerns is how an unexpected layoff would affect him and his family financially. To hedge against this possibility, he began deferring a portion of his bonus each year through the company's deferred compensation plan. He set the distribution date as the day he separates or retires from his company, and the distributions will pay out over 5 years. The current value of the plan is $350,000. Looking at this chart, you can see that no matter when Mike leaves the company, he has a purpose for his deferred compensation. If he gets laid off at 58, or any age for that matter, the deferred comp will pay out over the next 5 years. Being that the current value is $350,000, that can be around $70,000 in income each year. This will allow him to buy some time while he looks for another job, or he could accept a job making less money since he has this income to supplement his pay. In the second scenario, Mike retires early at 62. He would receive his payout over the next 5 years until he is 66. The deferred compensation income would supplement his other retirement income until he takes Social Security. It could also pay for health insurance since he most likely would not be covered under his employer's plan, and Medicare does not start until age 65. The last scenario has Mike retiring at the end of the year he turns 65, the longest he would continue working. If he's able to stay that long, Mike could then use the deferred compensation to supplement his retirement income. This would enable him to withdraw less from his retirement and investment assets, allowing them to continue growing. He also can defer Social Security until 70 to max out his benefit, since the deferred comp would be a supplement to the income in the meantime. The point is that Mike would have a lot of options and flexibility in his income planning. Deferred compensation is a potent tool that necessitates a thoughtful approach. Carefully weigh your options and proceed with cautious enthusiasm, sooner rather than later. Defer your compensation, but don't delay putting the plan to work for your future. Remember, your time is valuable. Decisions regarding deferred compensation plans should be intricately woven into the fabric of your comprehensive financial and retirement plans. Given the complexity and stakes involved, we recommend collaborating closely with a seasoned financial professional to help navigate the many possibilities and make informed choices aligned with your long-term goals. Thank you for taking the time to watch today. Hope you learned a lot about your deferred compensation plan and how to use them strategically in your financial plans. As always, you can reach out to us directly with any questions at admin@stratacapital.co.